Is that nice in the sunshine? Is that nice in the sunshine? Welcome to a beautiful day. It's actually super snowy. I don't know if you can see in the glare of the sun. I was going to give Tizzy a bath, but considering how cold it is, I'm not going to. But it is 12 weeks out from Man v Horse, so her training begins this weekend. She's just been very slowly ticking over winter, so we're not starting from scratch. We've got 12 weeks to go from like baseline to full fitness. I am not, if she was between 8 and 20, then I would be training her to win. But Tizzy is 24 now, and she doesn't need to prove anything. I just want to have a bit of fun, so I'll make her fit enough that she can go at whatever speed that she wishes to go at, and we'll have fun and we'll be competitive, but I'm not anticipating being a top 10. So our main aim is to have fun, try something different, do something together that we haven't done before, not going out and smashing it, which is very against my nature and very against Tizzy's nature. She loves to be in the lead, she loves a good race, but we've got to respect that she's an old lady now. So, because she is starting her training, her proper training, it is time for her to be clipped. So I'm not going to bath her because it's a bit cold and that's mean. So I'm going to give her a good groom, and then we're going to give her a blanket clip, and we're going to start our training for Man v Horse. Day 1. Hey Whistle, day 1. You do not look very enthusiastic. You look mainly snoozy. As much better off as we can. Look at that already. We're not doing the top bit, we're just doing the bottom, aren't we? It is molting season. That's even before clipping. There we go, first clip. Oh yes, Whistle. You're so good. Okay, where should we go to, hey? Let's go there. Okay, we'll get back to you once we've done the butt. Good job. Can I do your face, please? Right, I think I might need my other hand to do your face, please. One clipped pony and one itchy Beth. Look at that. I mean, the lines aren't great, but isn't she good? I just literally clip her loose in the stable. I'll give it a bit of a tidy up. The clippers are a bit hot now, so we'll tidy her up in a bit, but that's the most of the bulk off. Look how much hair there is. Hey Whistle, look how much hair there is. Let's go in. Nice little clip, very hairy. I'm going to give her a hot cloth bath now to get all the itchiness off, and then she can go out for a good roll, and then we'll go for a ride this weekend, hey? Yes, we definitely need to tidy this line up. What was I thinking? Look at all this fluff. Look at that big pile of fluff you've lost, Whistle. You look so smart now. Are you ready to do some training? ready to go, Wiggle. I went for a ride yesterday and it absolutely poured down, so my winter high vis is absolutely soaking wet. I've put my summer high vis on, which isn't meant for over layers. I've got many layers on and it's so tight and it keeps riding up. On another note, let me show you the tidiest pony in the world. Look at her stable, one wee pile, and she does all her poops in one pile. What a good girl. Right then, Tizzy, shall we start this man v horse training lark? Yes, let's get on. Let's go, Wiggle. Riding Tizzy and the prospect of actually like properly training her again makes me so happy. It's literally like I can close my eyes. I know the movement of this horse, like I know where she's going. It is literally like being in an old armchair that you know like so well. And I need to remember how happy that makes me when sometimes I can't be bothered to go out in all weathers and things. It's so easy to forget why, isn't it? It's so easy to forget how good this is, and I really do appreciate you, Tizzy. Right, let's do the trafficy bit before we get to the good bit, hey Wiggle? Oh, look at that! No traffic. Sunday mornings for you, hey? There's me. Now I know I haven't done man versus horse before, but I literally grew up training on the terrain that man versus horse is on. And my top tip, not just for man versus horse, but for anyone, any endurance rider, because I've seen so many people kind of get it wrong, is that you should slow down to go uphill. So this is the first big hill of our hack. Not as big as the hills in Wales, but still for around here. And I'm going to slow Tizzy down so that she's not expending as much effort. So when we get to the top of the hill, she won't be blowing, she won't be sweaty, and we can crack on. So many people get to the top, or get to a hill. Oh, there's a big builder's bag. 24 and still speaking. So many people get to a hill and think, woo! Canter up it, go faster up it, and they get to the top and the horse is absolutely knackered. So ride to effort, and that just means that you want to keep the horse's respiratory rate, effort, heart rate, whatever you're going to go by, the same regardless of the terrain. So on the good stuff and the easy stuff you can go faster, but on the hard stuff slow it down. Tizzy is a pro at this. She'll go slow on the uphill, faster on the downhill, and it's what makes her so good. So, there's my top tip, man versus horse tip. Good girl. Look at it all wintry. Lots. Shall we come to the pond? I know you've got fastest truck in the land, but steady. Okay. You're not racing now. Good girl, that's better. Did it by yourself? side. Right, this is the one hill. I mean, not yet. Excuse me. This is the one hill I'm going to let you canter up. But only because you want to go through a bit. Hey, doggy. Steady. What are you like? Good timing, thank you. Boots are still on. Okay. Dizzy. As one of the things I'm not sure about for Manby horse, so I have never, this is what I mean when they're blowing, if you let them go fast uphill and then you don't have the same kind of, so you expend way more energy than you need to and don't have the same kind of energy reserves to keep a nice continuous pace. But I digress. That's one of the things I'm really not sure about for Manby horse, is I've been riding Tizzy barefoot now for 18 months? Over a year anyway, and it's all been going really well on all types of terrain, but I obviously haven't been training her like full-time training, and we haven't been doing rides at over 10k an hour. So whenever I have competed her in the past, she has been shod and she has had tungsten pin studs, so she's had 8 studs in the shoes, which allows her to go as fast as she wants to go on kind of forestry track and road when there is road. And I know that Manby horse has a fair bit of road, especially at the start. So Manby horse is also super boggy. I know the terrain well. It's exactly the kind of terrain that I'm used to when I grew up at home, and I don't know whether boots will survive it in terms of staying on, because it's so boggy and it's also very kind of mossy and slippy in places. So I'm in two minds really. Like, the boots have been good so far and I haven't lost one and they haven't flown off and I've been really happy with them. They are slightly slippier on terrain that's not textured than shoes, but I mean, we can deal with that. So to boot or to shoe, or do I ride barefoot completely with boots on my saddle if I think I need to, but then we'd lose time? And if I have shoes on, I would take boots on my saddle in case I lose a shoe. If I lose a boot, do I need to buy some spare boots? Probably. So lots of options, and I'm not really sure about the answer yet. I'm going to keep training her barefoot and booted for now, and I need to make that decision in the next 5 weeks, so she's at least got one shoeing cycle before I put shoes on for Manby horse. So I'm not sure. I think it's more my inexperience barefoot that would determine the answer to that, rather than the ability of a barefoot booted horse to do Manby horse, because I know lots of people have. I'm just not, I've never done it, basically. What do you think, Whizzle? She's like, as long as I can go fast, I don't care what I do it in. Right then, cross another road, Whizzle. It's getting windier, isn't it? Looks like the Sunday morning traffic has woken up. Wait. Your comfort with cars being around you because of crew cars is sometimes disturbing. You have no respect. I think they all have food and water. Bit of compulsory walk, Whizzle, because this road is super slippy regardless of whether you have shoes or boots on. I know. all done. First man versus horse training session in the bag. We did 10 kilometers, average speed of 12 kilometers an hour, but the trotting average speed was 16 kilometers an hour. I've done the stats on man v horse, and I know kind of the speeds that I'm aiming for. That I'm not being competitive, but I just know that the speeds for between first and top 10, I went through the stats for since the event began, so that I know kind of what the speeds the front group are going to be doing and what speed Tizzy kind of needs to be good at to either be kind of top 20. I'm not aiming for top 10. If it happens, it happens. If she's good enough, who am I to stop her? But I need to know like what speed each group is going to be roughly going at. So yeah, the next kind of 13 weeks we're going to kind of, I was saying before my battery rudely died on me, that the next 13 weeks are going to be broken down into 3 blocks. The 13th week I don't count as a training week, that's just tapering down. We're not going to be doing anything really in that week apart from travelling over. The first 4 weeks we're just going to be doing, kind of focusing on doing probably 3 sessions a week, 10 kilometers minimum each session, and keeping a fairly steady average speed. Then we'll up the distance for the next 4 weeks, and then we'll up the speed for the final 4 weeks. And we'll just see where we're at. I'm going to train her to the best of my abilities and the best of her ability, so that I'm training her to succeed and do well, but that is not my intention. Let me say this now. It is not my intention to go out there and win. But if our training and Tizzy's ability mean that that's what happens, then fine. And that's how I've always trained. I always train and compete to a strategy. I always look at past events, do the average speed, and if my riding strategy means I get a placing, excellent. If it doesn't, I've ridden to my plan, and that's what I wanted to do. It means that I can control my goal setting a little bit more, and I can control the outcome of whether I succeed or not, because if I set my goal on I want to come 8th, then 8th is such a random one, isn't it? Why did I choose that? Top 10. Then that's a little bit out of control. It depends what happens on the day in terms of other riders. There's a lot of there's many factors involved, but if I ride to my plan and I stick to my plan, then I can break it down a little bit more, and it's kind of a personal success rather than an external factor. I've waffled enough. So I'm going to take you along for the next 13 weeks of Tizzy doing her first ever man versus horse training. Wish us luck. Should we wash you down now? Sweaty Betty. Yay. Oh, you're so soft and velvety.